Hey everyone, Doug8798 here. I was originally going to do a long rant on the entire Dragon Ball Z series, but that video was taking too long, so I decided to cut it down and do a rant on the Saiyan saga, the Namek, the entire Namek saga, and the Garlic Jr. saga. Okay, first of all, the Saiyans, like I keep saying, the Saiyan saga, the entire Namek saga, and the Android and Cell sagas were my favorite sagas of Dragon Ball Z. And I love the Saiyan and Namek sagas. They had so many awesome episodes and moments, and it was just entertaining and so many awesome characters. But after watching both of these sagas again for this rant, and reading them again for this rant, oh my god, man, do these sagas suck. They were both rushed. Like I keep saying in the Saiyan saga, Saiyan and Namek saga, not only do they rush the story, there's a story, but once again, there is no storytelling. There is little storytelling, and whenever there is storytelling, like with Raditz telling Goku about his race and stuff, oh, they rush it and immediately start. They rush it, quickly end it, and immediately start something else. And once again, this is the second reason it sucks. I keep saying it. I keep saying it over and over again. If I said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. They focus way too much on those lame Dragon Balls and the fucking fighting. No character, little character development, or little character exploration. No character exploration. There's character development, but no character exploration. It's just fight, and that's basically it. Fight and find those balls. Now, the Saiyan saga. They brought in Raditz, Nappa, Tien, Yamcha, and worst of all, Chaozu, in just to quickly kill them off and start something new. Piccolo and Goku dying, I didn't mind that. I actually liked that. I thought both of those guys dying were turning points for them characters. But Yamcha, Tien, Raditz, Nappa, and especially Chaozu, Nappa, and Raditz, their deaths sucked. First of all, let's start off with Chaozu, man. First of all, Chaozu had been alive since the Chaozu was just recently brought back in the King Piccolo saga. So I thought it was really stupid to kill him off here. And it's once again shows you how Chaozu is the most neglected, underrated, underused character in Dragon Ball Z. He doesn't really serve any purpose to the plot. He is just there to get beat up and killed. That's what Chaozu does. And be unimportant, which is the worst. I would forgive the first two if it weren't for the last one, which is be unimportant. Not really serving anything to the plot and no development or backstory on who he is. BS. And his death was stupid. First of all, Nappa blows up an entire Nappa, of course, does one of his finishing moves and makes a huge hole in the ground. And then they think Chaozu got hit by it, but instead Chaozu uses that clever cover to jump on Nappa's back and immediately sacrifice himself after Nappa had smashed Tien's arm. He said he gave his life for Tien, only for Tien to get killed to die shortly after that. And Tien, his blast did nothing to Nappa. So both of their deaths were in vain, pointless, and stupid. Toriyama knew he didn't know what to do with their characters, so he pretty much sentenced them to death, so he didn't have to sentence them to death and sent them to heaven, so he didn't have to do anything with their characters. Next was Yamcha. Yamcha fights the Cyberman, almost beats the Cyberman, actually beats the Cyberman. Cyberman jumps on him, explodes, he's dead. Once again, Yamcha, just like Tien and Chaozu, was just brought in here to get quickly killed off and be irrelevant and unimportant in the next saga, which was the Namek saga. Once and then now for the Saiyans, man. Oh boy, the Saiyans, Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta. This right here, while this plot was way better than Dragon Ball, was way better than anything in Dragon Ball, with the exception of Tien and Piccolo, this plot was freaking retarded, and it had so much potential to be good. It was awesome watching as a child, and it was very nostalgic watching it again here, but this plot was retarded. First of all, Raditz comes to Earth looking for Goku, but of course, as he reveals at the end of his fight, when he dies at the end of his fight with Goku and Piccolo, he reveals that he also came here seeking knowledge of the Dragon Balls. So let me get this straight. If Vegeta wanted the Dragon Balls so badly, why did him and Nappa invade Earth when Raditz came to Earth? Why didn't they all invade Earth together if they badly wanted the Dragon Balls? Why did they wait until Raditz and Goku got killed, only for the Earthlings? And you heard them on the communicator say, you heard Piccolo say Goku will be brought back using the balls, and Krillin also said he will bring Goku back using the balls. So why would you invade Earth after Goku had been after Goku's friends made a wish to resurrect Goku, which means since they made a wish, the balls will go to stone and you can't use them for another year. Why would you invade Earth knowing you can't use the balls for another year, instead of coming earlier and, in my opinion, invading Earth and doing what Cell and somewhat, as much as I hate Majin Buu, and what Majin Buu did, and that's exterminating nearly all life on Earth, or at least enslaving some Earthlings and making them tell you where the balls are. Instead, no, here's what they do. Raditz comes down, tells Goku who he is, kidnaps his son. Goku and Piccolo team up, they fight. Piccolo kills both of them with the special beam cannon. Goku dies, Raditz also dies, and then Nappa and Vegeta, they come to Earth and repeat the same plot. They come to Earth looking for the balls. They seek out the strongest fighter, just like Raditz did in the first part of the Saiyan saga. They seek out the strongest fighters on Earth. They go there. They fight. Everyone gets killed. Everyone, with the exception of Gohan and Krillin, gets killed. Goku fights Nappa. Then Vegeta calls off the fight for no apparent reason. For really no apparent reason. Nappa was actually fighting evenly with Goku. Right when the fight was starting to get good, Vegeta calls it off. Nappa decides to take it out on Gohan and Krillin. Goku smashes his spine with the Kaioken, thus rendering him useless. And then, in the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in anime, Vegeta kills his own partner. And that's the end of Nappa. No, just like Raditz, no development on who he is. All we got from Nappa was that he was an elite Saiyan. No development on who he is. No backstory. He served really nothing to the plot. He was irrelevant in the future, other than his cells being collected, his cells and fight energy being collected to create the androids in Cell. And was basically irrelevant. Nobody brings him up in future conversations. They say Vegeta killed everyone, and to some degree that's right, but man, it sucked that Nappa and Raditz were just brought in as opponents. The Saiyans should have stayed around longer. They barely invaded Earth. Nappa and Raditz got killed, and Vegeta got his butt kicked by Goku, Yajirobe, Krillin, and pretty much Gohan. Gohan the most. Gohan and Goku the most. And then that was it. Then Vegeta left Earth, and then now we're in the Namek saga. The Saiyans, they should have invaded Earth. Hell, the people of Earth, they don't even remember Nappa and Vegeta invading Earth. Nappa and Vegeta invaded Earth, killed a city of people, and they don't even remember that, especially since they think later in the series that Hercule is the world heavyweight champion. Stupid. It's stupid. They barely invaded Earth, and the plot was retarded. Why did they come to Earth looking for the Dragon Balls? Why did they come to Earth looking for the Dragon Balls after a wish had already been made, which means you can't make another wish? Stupid. Just stupid. There was no storytelling. And there was no storytelling. No character exploration, just fighting. And like I said, the Saiyan saga was rushed. The filler makes the Saiyan saga seem like it's long. It's not. It's just a couple of chapters and a long, dragged out fight. And then, bam, we're in the Namek saga. Talk about rushed. This was an alien invasion. This should have lasted longer. Oh my God. Next, they quickly end the Saiyan saga so they can market a new line of merchandise, which was Kui, Dodoria, Zarbon. Then they quickly killed them off so they could market the Ginyu Force. Then they quickly killed the Ginyu Force off and drugged out the fight with Frieza. Man. Now, approaching the Namek saga. Man. Once again, we get to Namek. I didn't mind Kui and Dodoria being killed off quickly. Same with Apul. I like Apul, but I just thought all three of them were generic henchmen. I really didn't like Dodoria or Kui. So, and I love seeing Vegeta dominate them, and Vegeta, the way he killed Apul bursting out of the chamber like that when Apul was mocking the Saiyans. I thought that was awesome. But what I hate was them killing off Zarbon, who was an awesome character. They killed him off way too quickly with no development, just like Nappa and Raditz in the first series. They killed Zarbon, Dodoria, Kui, and Apul off so they could quickly bring forth the Ginyu Force. Once again, marketing a new line of toys and merchandise. The Ginyu Force. How the hell do you call the Ginyu Saga a saga? They were only around for a couple of episodes, and then they drug out the fight with Captain Ginyu. Once again, doing the same crappy plot. They killed off each Ginyu Force member with no development. They were just created as opponents for the Z Fighters and comedy relief. I think that's lame. Why couldn't they be comedy relief and a bigger part of the story? Once again, it just shows you how lazy Akira Toriyama is. Man, and then next is the Frieza saga. Going back to what I was saying, just like in the Saiyan saga, no storytelling, little storytelling. The stuff about the Nameks and Piccolo and Gohan and somewhat Vegeta is the only bit of story we actually get. And I'm sorry, that's just Gohan's good, but that's not enough. That's the only bit of story we got to get. Once again, it is all about fighting and finding these balls. That's the plot. Then we get to the battle with Frieza. And oh man, the Frieza. I don't remember, but man, talk about lazy storytelling. Despite how prominently Frieza is featured, there is no development. There is no real development on that character, his family, or even what his species is. Actually, they don't tell you what any of those species that we see in the Namek sagas are. They don't tell you. Ginyu mentioned they were mutants who had their powers amplified in the Funimation dub, but I'm sorry, I need more than that. They didn't tell you who they were. They didn't tell you when Frieza took control of the planet trade. There was no development on any of the characters we saw. Then here is the most laziest thing I've ever seen. I have never seen anyone this lazy draw anything this lazy. Toriyama, to make it look like he's telling a story, to avoid telling a story because he was so damn lazy, he drug out the fight. I'm talking about the fight between Frieza and Goku. That is several pages wrong. That is several pages long. Who the hell does that? Who the hell draws out? Who the hell who draws 18 pages? Not 18 pages. I don't know how many pages it was, but draws X amount of pages of fight scene. If you read the whole Goku fight, that fight is long. No wonder it was so long in the show. It was freaking long in the manga. Who does that? I don't care how powerful the enemy does. That is lazy storytelling. That's no storytelling. To draw the fight out that long. To draw just panels, a fight scene, pages, X amount of pages, worth a fight scene is just lazy. Lazy and just, oh, man. And then Frieza, finally, he gets cut in half by his own attack after Goku beats him in his Super Saiyan form. Then Frieza tries to attack Goku with some of the energy Goku lent him. It appears that Goku kills him, but later on in the Android Saga, we see a flashback of Frieza floating in space. King Cole and his men grab Frieza, and then here's the part that pissed me off. They rebuild him into a cyborg, stronger and badder than before. Then he takes whatever troops he has left, goes to Earth. The fight goes to Earth, only to get killed by Trunks, who Trunks told you his name in his story after Frieza had been killed. So Frieza got killed off by an unknown boy from the future. And they quickly did this. They quickly, in an anticlimactic, crappy fashion, killed off Frieza, your main villain of the last arc. So they could quickly get to the Android Saga once again, rushing the story, then dragging out the last fight, then quickly ended it to start something new. They killed off Frieza. King Cole, we didn't see King Cole in action. We didn't see him at all. We didn't see him do really anything. There was no development on him. Both Frieza, King Cole, and the entire planet trade in an anticlimactic fashion got killed off by a boy from the future. And yes, it's an unknown boy from the future. Trunks didn't tell you his name and story until after the fight was over. Then, before the Android Saga began and the return of Frieza, we had the filler saga, the Garlic Jr. saga. I enjoyed the Garlic Jr. saga when I was a kid, and it was somewhat enjoyable. At least at the end, it was somewhat enjoyable. Now, at the end, when Gohan and Krillin finally got to the lookout and started battling Junior and his minions. But man, I don't know which was worse, the Garlic Jr. saga or the Boo saga. Anyway, both of these sagas are the worst sagas in the Dragon Ball Z series. First of all, Garlic Jr. is a filler character. Garlic Jr. is a movie character who doesn't exist in the main timeline. And he doesn't exist. It doesn't matter where you try to put any of those movies in the timeline. They don't fit. They just mess things up. And for people who try to say, oh, well, Garlic Jr. takes place at the beginning of Dragon Ball, yeah, they made it seem like it takes place at the beginning of Dragon Ball. But it doesn't take place. But it doesn't take place there. But there are several problems. First off, the main problem is, of course, Krillin. Krillin sees Gohan. Krillin rescues Gohan in the film, yet in the first episode of Dragon Ball Z doesn't recognize Gohan. Then here's another one. Goku teams up with Piccolo to fight Garlic Jr. When Piccolo and Goku take off their clothes, Goku makes the same comment that Piccolo trains in weighted clothing. Then Goku makes the same statement during the fight with Raditz. Why would he ask the same question or make the same statement when he just made it here? Then if you listen to the dialogue of the first episode of Dragon Ball Z, it makes it seem like Goku and Vegeta, not Vegeta, Goku and Piccolo never teamed up together. They make it seem like they never teamed up together, yet you saw it here in the Garlic Jr. in the Dead Zone movie. And then Kami in one chapter is surprised that Piccolo defended the Earth against Raditz when Piccolo helped Goku defend the Earth in Dead Zone against Garlic Jr. That goes to show you that the Garlic Jr. saga, that despite the fact it was written to take place before Dragon Ball Z, it doesn't fit anywhere in the timeline. And since it doesn't fit anywhere in the timeline, why is Garlic Jr. in the series? And once again, people want to say, oh, well, they had to have some filler so the manga, so the anime doesn't surpass the manga. The anime would not have surpassed the manga had Toriyama not rushed the freaking Saiyan and Namek sagas. Damn. Garlic Jr. saga. It was decently written, but because it's not canon and doesn't make sense and was not in the timeline, it freaking sucks. It's some garbage ass filler. All right. Well, that's it. And then continuing, Garlic Jr. He's never mentioned after this. He's never mentioned. The narrator mentions Garlic Jr. in the Funimation dub and the Ocean dub, but Garlic Jr. is never again mentioned in the Dragon Ball Z. Actual Dragon Ball Z series again. Pointless ass filler. Oh. And people like to talk about the filler in Naruto. At least some of the filler in Naruto, at least in the first series, was actually based on stuff that was hinted at in the series but never elaborated on. This filler was absolute crap. Didn't make much sense. Oh. Well, is that everything? Did I make fun of everything I meant to make fun of? I think I did. So I'll do a salute and rant of the Cell Saga and an entire rant of the freaking Boo Saga next time. Series sucked. Dog out.